Let's talk about Donald Trump. As I mentioned with Brit Hume, he had some choice remarks about you, according to Rolling Stone magazine. While you came on the TV, he was quoted by the Rolling Stone reporter saying, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of our next president? I mean, she's a woman, and I'm not supposed to say bad things, but really, folks, come on. Are we serious?" Your reaction?
Well, I think those comments speak for themselves. And all the many thousands of voters out there that are helping me climb in the polls, yes, they're very serious.
What do you take that to mean? Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that?
I have no idea. And honestly, Megan, I'm not going to spend a single cycle wondering what Donald Trump means. But maybe, just maybe, I'm getting under his skin a little bit because I am climbing in the polls.
What do you think is going to happen? We're a week away now from the next Republican presidential debate. What is your strategy going to be that night?
Well, it's interesting. When I went into the Fox News debate, less than 40% of Republican voters had ever heard my name. As I go into the CNN debate, it's still true that about 50% of Republican primary voters watching will have never heard my name. In other words, I need to introduce myself to the American people. I need people to understand who I am, what I've done, and most importantly, what I will do to finally challenge the status quo of Washington, to finally change the system, to finally actually solve our festering problems. It's clear that whatever the issue or cause, the political class has let us down. That's why I'm running for president. But I think voters also need to see that I'm someone who doesn't just talk about it. I'm someone who's done it, who's challenged the status quo all my life. That's how you go from secretary to CEO. You solve problems, you challenge the status quo, and you lead. Mm-hmm. And that's what I will do from the White House.
I went from telemarketer to TV anchor.
Yeah. Well, you challenged a little bit of status quo too, Megan.
It's great to see you, Carly. Thanks for being here.
Nice to see you.
Not quite the same as her accomplishments. Oh, well. Well, many of the Republican presidential hopefuls have publicly come to Davis's defense in the wake of her arrest. Others have faulted her for not carrying out her duties as county clerk. Among those, Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina, who joins me now. Great to see you, Carly. So you heard the argument on the other side. And the argument that I raised even here last night is that the law does, under Title VII, require an accommodation, typically, of even a public employee who's refusing to do her job for religious reasons.
And she should have been provided an accommodation. Absolutely right. She should have been provided an accommodation. She never should have been thrown in jail. I mean, for heaven's sakes, Lois Lerner should have been thrown in jail, not Kim Davis. And it's clear that religious freedom is under assault in this country, which is why we have to put so much energy around protecting religious freedom. Nevertheless, I think she crosses a line when she prevents others in the court from issuing these licenses, but she clearly should have received an accommodation, and let's hope that's what happens.
Do you object to her saying, look, you can't even do it if my name is on the certificate, because that's what got her thrown in jail?
Well, I do think it's a very fine line here. I mean, I understand Governor Huckabee's point that she was elected under a Kentucky law that was voted in, and I understand how objectionable people find the Supreme Court ruling. I do as well. They clearly reached into thin air for this justification of what they wanted the law to be, not what the law is. On the other hand, as conservatives, we believe that it is someone's duty to uphold the law as it is, not as we would like it to be. We ask judges to do that, we ask police officers to do that, and I think we ask clerks to do that. And so I understand this is a difficult issue. I think she should be given an accommodation, but I do not think she can stand in the way of all marriage licenses being issued by this office.